Tennessee cop Megan Hall, fired over sex trysts with 6 other police officers, settles federal lawsuit that will cost the shitty a whopping $500,000. Well, at least it's not multiple millions. But it's funny that she's getting paid anything there. A former Tennessee cop who got axed for her tryst with 6 other officers on the job. Yeah, I think that's the problem there. It was on the job. Has settled her federal lawsuit or federal civil lawsuit against her former employer for a whopping $500,000, according to reports. Yeah, so I guess the city decided it would be cheaper to just pay her the $500,000 than spending millions fighting this on courts to be, even if they were ultimately proven innocent, which I could understand if that was their reasoning. I don't blame them at all. So Megan Hall, who claimed she was sexually groomed by a cadre of male colleagues on the force, sued the city of Laverne last year after a word of her raunchy romps made national headlines. Now, if I didn't know that this was the common excuse, maybe I could have fallen for it if I was still as ignorant as I was in the past. This is a common reaction women have to being outed cheating. She was cheating too. I think she was married, and her cuck husband stood by her too. But yeah, this is the common reaction when a woman's is caught cheating or just being a sexual deviant in general. She claims she was assaulted or groomed or struggle snuggled. Anything to divert the blame away from her, of course. Yeah, she's the victim in this. Like, no, don't worry. I didn't cheat on you. No, it was a struggle snuggle. So on Wednesday, the Laverne board voted 3-1 at a special meeting to settle the lawsuit. Laverne board mayor and alderman the Laverne board of mayor and aldermen, voted tonight to authorize the mayor to sign a settlement agreement between the shitty and the former police officer Megan Hall. The shitty leaders wrote in a statement, according to the outlet. The agreement was negotiated between the attorneys representing the shitty and Hall. The statement said the shitty's insurance provider will pay the sum of $500,000 to Hall as a gross settlement, which includes court costs, attorney's fees, and expenses. Okay, so I guess it technically didn't cost the taxpayers $500,000. It's the insurance company that has to pay it, although their premiums are going to go up now. The shitty denies any admission of liability and no taxpayer funds will be spent to settle the lawsuit. Hall, 28, made national headlines last year after her station house sexcapades went public, including affairs with her supervisor, Sergeant Lewis Powell, and others. According to an internal investigation, Hall hooked up with several colleagues, sent them nude pictures, and went topless in a Girls Gone Wild themed hot tub party, and even performed oral sex on 2 cops while on duty. That's how she got promoted. It's all the power in those lips, right? Just like in Super Troopers. It's all true. She also allegedly had a threesome with one of the cops and his wife, according to the shitty's report. I wonder if her husband knew about that. Yeah, the hanky-panky cost several of the male cops their gerbs, including Powell. I can see why. So the shocking investigation report included findings that then Police Chief Burrell Chip Davis, who was fired over the scandal, not only knew about Hall's hookups, but joked about the situation with others in the shitty. So who dat, Davis allegedly said when shown a vulgar photo of Hall by another cop, Ty McGowan, the investigation found. Yeah, if I remember correctly, that Ty McGowan guy is the one that leaked it. I think he was one of the ones that she was, screwing too, but just he happened to leak it. So Hall, Lewis Powell, McGowan replied, "He on it again," the chief quipped. The ex-top cop also joked about a 13-minute video allegedly showing Hall masturbating, which is shared among some of the male cops inside the department. I'm sure it was hacked. She didn't mean to send it to him. In her lawsuit, Hall claimed that her encounters began with an affair with Powell and led to others in the department targeting her until she gave in to their sexual advances. Oh, so they were hitting on her until she said yes, and that counts as grooming. All right. So, guys, I've seen a lot more of them complaining now about guys that just ghost them after being rejected only once. Well, if you keep persisting, yeah, I know it's a meme that, oh, what if she's playing hard to get? You can't do that in current year. Is she playing hard to get, or is she getting ready to sue you for harassment? Which one? Now, I know what most people are saying. She said during her first public comments about the scandal in March, current year -1. Uh, I could have said no, I get it, but my response to them is I did say no, and Powell wouldn't take that for an answer. Eventually, I gave in from pressure. Yeah, that's right. She's the victim here. Maybe that's what she told her husband, too. And that's why they're still together. If they got kids, though, I'd be getting them DNA tested. Now, Hall's lawyer, Wesley Clark, said last year that the young ex-cop never had a chance. Once this became national news, that's right. So Megan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted. She was looked at like a piece of meat to be sexualized and exploited. And she probably played that up to get promoted. The officers or officials in Laverne did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Hall blamed her Randy behavior on a troubled marriage. Oh, so now it's her husband's fault. Everyone but her is at fault here. Despite Laverne's decision to settle the suit, one board member refused to sign off. What message does that send to all the other employees? City Alderman Dennis Waldron wrote in a dissenting vote. It's sending a message out there to everyone in the world that says, come to Laverne, sue Laverne because they're going to settle, Waldron said. Now, this guy's actually smart. So the logic behind settling is, well, it would be cheaper to just settle and pay the person now than fight it in court, even if you win. So even if you lose, the price will be much higher. But if you win, the price will be much higher too. Like, that's generally the logic behind settling, is even if you have a guaranteed win, it's going to cost you more than the settlement. So I get why they pay out these settlements, but on the other hand, this guy's not wrong. If they just once people know that you will just pay them to go away because it's cheaper than fighting it in court, that's just going to attract more people to sue you for bogus reasons, knowing you're just going to settle. If they fought everyone, initially it would be way more expensive and it would hurt their financials. But as time goes on, if the city developed a reputation for fighting every accusation tooth and nail, they'd get a lot less accusations. They'd get a lot less people trying to sue them. Yeah, also the time is valuable. That's right. The time you'd be wasting on this lawsuit, it's good to spend as little time on this as possible.